Gold is taking a little bit of a breather since its dump on Friday afternoon. Silver's pretty much doing the same thing. Oil looks like it's going to jump off the same cliff that the euro jumped off last week. The UK 100 looks like it's going to make all-time new highs this week. What a surprise. And believe it or not, the S&P 500 just looks like it's going to continue this previous pattern. Unless it's got some magical power that's going to push it out of this mess, I would expect to see a short increase in price before the next dump. I'm sure all of the geopolitical news will assist us to make another red downward day in and around the next couple of days or next week. The fear and greed index using the coin market cap says it's at 65, so we're on greed, moving slowly into the neutral zone. The other fear and greed index is saying we're on 74 right now, so still very much on greed. The market fear and greed index is currently sitting at 58, but this is still based upon last week's previous close. So we'll be waiting for an update at 3:30 today with whatever new measurement has to come. The Bitcoin halving moving slowly towards the actual halving day. Now we're left with 4 days, 11 hours, 49 minutes and 0 seconds. The altcoin season is now at 41. And of course, my name is David Thorne and you are watching David's videos. Today is the 15th of April. It is 2:15 in the afternoon, Central European time. Today's video is a little bit later than normal. If you are new to my channel and you want to check out some other videos that I make about programming or about electronics or helping you with your mathematics or just generally speaking about Germany, then come and check out my channel. But if you are only here to see my Bitcoin price analysis videos, then obviously you've got this playlist here, or you can come straight over and see all of the other videos I've made over the past month or so. And all of the videos here, as you can see, are nicely annotated with the ups or downs, the opens and closes of what happened on that previous day. With that said, before we move on to talk about the Bitcoin price, I just want to say I am not a financial advisor. I'm not a professional trader. I'm literally just a guy sat in front of a monitor talking about the Bitcoin price with regards to his own investments or his own portfolio. Now, I invested, or my wife and I, we invested in Bitcoin back in November 2021. It was a very, very horrible time over the course of 2022, but we had faith in our investments and slowly it came back in profits to the point where we took some good profits up here as it was hitting the 67,000 euro mark. Now that we've done that, we're now sitting back and waiting to see whether the price is going to go even higher or whether we're going to see a proper correction, because that type of downward movement that we saw on the weekend was nothing whatsoever, and let's not even call it a correction. So if you are new to Bitcoin right now and you are wondering whether you should or shouldn't get into the market, whether you should or shouldn't buy any cryptocurrencies right now, well, the answer is if you're looking for a short-term gain, well, you could buy right now and then sell a little bit later. That wouldn't be such a bad idea because Bitcoin is at a little bit of a discount right now, but we are looking at really volatile markets currently. So you should obviously understand that if you do get in, there is a 50% chance that you'll lose your money as well as a 50% chance that you'll gain money. Now, if you are looking at investing over long term, then I would highly advise, rather than just dumping your money in all at once, I would advise rather just putting your money in increments over time period. And sometimes the market goes down and sometimes it goes back up again. But when you dollar cost average in, you get a good average buy-in price rather than just this one price. And if it does dump down and you lose all of your money, well, at least you only lose a little bit of it because you just keep dollar cost averaging in. And when the markets go back up again, you continue to dollar cost average in and your investment is a lot stronger. With that now all out the way, I just want to let you know that I obviously do this for free, okay? I sit here and I research about the videos, I make the video, then I edit it, then I upload it and so on. So it does take me a little bit of time as well to do. And the only payment that I'm asking for is just a like. That's all I'm asking for, is that just to say a thank you. I don't want a Patreon thing, or I don't want a cup of coffee, or I don't want you to give me any money, I don't want you to go to any links or anything. Just a quick, simple like. That's all I'm talking about. And if you are interested in subscribing to my channel to be informed about any new videos that I do release, then now's the time to tap on the like button and the subscribe button, and don't forget to tap that bell as well to be notified when I release any new videos. And like I said, if I do release any other videos that aren't of your taste, I won't be offended if you just scroll by. And all of my Bitcoin videos, as you can see, all start with BTC or Bitcoin. Okay, now with that all out the way, we can go ahead and close down the browsers and jump straight over to the Bitcoin chart to actually start analyzing the price, because that's what you came here to do. So let's get started. As per normal, we like scrolling all the way out to look at the weekly charts, and as we can see, if we stick my indicator back on, we are still going sideways. So when we look on the weekly chart, I mean, we've got still the upper range that we talked about before, and we've still got the lower range that we talked about before, and then with the possible elephant in the room down here if the price does decide to go any lower. Now, if you are thinking that the price of Bitcoin is going to go lower in the future and you're going to sit back and be patient, then I would suggest in and around this one consolidation area here where we could see lower prices. Otherwise, we can see around this area here, around about the 48,000 mark. Now, if the price does break this region, we'd expect to see prices come around the 28,000 mark. But I mean, that's got to be like a real black swan event to really force the prices down, or the interest rates down really, really fast in 1 year. Now, I can't see that happening right now, especially on election year, but anything could happen. So you've always got to be ready for a point where you should have enough money on the side to buy in violently if the price hits prices like this down here. I say that because when the prices did come down here, then I did exactly the opposite there and didn't buy any Bitcoin, which I'm very much regretting right now. As I say it, it makes me feel a little bit sick. So let's continue on looking at the daily charts. The daily chart is just painting this sideways motion, this picture. But one thing that's interesting to me that pops out quite loud is that we can see the 5, the 8 and the 15, or the 5 and the 8 are beneath the 15, right? And all of the candles currently over the past 3 days look like they're all going to close. When I say this, today's candle looks like it's going to close below the 5, and especially the 8 and the 15. So we could be set for lower prices, and I wouldn't count it out. You know, I think that we could expect the price to come and test this 57.3 zone here, and if it does break this zone, I'd expect it to come and test, say, the 55.9 area, or the 56,000 area. So this is definitely something to keep in mind. Now, if it does have the strength to bounce up, let's say tomorrow and over the course of the week, then naturally we would want to see, first of all, it break this 64,000 mark, and once it's done that, the next kind of psychological point would be the 66,500, and then once again, probably the hardest one that it's going to try and beat is then the 67,000. And if it can do that, I would expect either, I mean, there's got to be a huge amount of money coming in to make it. I would expect that we get some form of correction here, and if it does have strength, it may push through. But right now, we've got to see it break these zones, and it's got to come up. We don't want to see it come up too fast. We'd want to see it come up over maybe like 10 days. So maybe the halving has got something to do with it, or maybe the halving is the catalyst that could see this properly break through, and we literally just see, let's just say like one day or 2 days worth of candles, bringing it up to, like, say, the 75, 76, 77,000 mark. Completely just made those numbers up right now. But if you understand what I mean, is that if all that influx from the sentiment from the Bitcoin halving and the Asian or the Hong Kong ETFs that from what I'm understanding, they got approved today. I'm not sure whether that was false information, but it seemed like they got approved today. So that could be the influx that we see that will push the price up to here, and then enough force to push it up, very much like the breakout that we had previously, or the two breakouts. So we could see, you know, we saw this consolidation round here. We could see another breakout like this, and that took that took like 10 days or something to break out. So we would be expecting, say, like if it started from the bottom to like say 74,000. If we're a little bit more conservative, we'd say 70,000. Otherwise, if we're a little bit more, we're a little bit more open for higher prices, we could talk about 80,000. But what we could say is that let's just assume it does break out and it makes another range here, that we could be talking about, like, say 70,000 for the bottom range, and let's just say 80,000 to round things up for the top range. So we could expect to see the price push through and then do another range for, say, a month or whatever, and before it decides to make then the next move up or down, one of the two. But I don't think it's going to push through over the coming days. I think it's going to take a little bit of time. And if I am wrong there and it does break to higher prices, I'm super happy for being wrong. But I think we're going to see probably lower prices here and then maybe a breakout. But I'd expect for this green candle to come and get at least a little bit of action down here. But only time will tell. So let's dive into the 4-hour time frame, and we can see here that it's looking like it wants to break out again. I mean, I kind of pretty much said this yesterday in yesterday's video, so we haven't really moved too far since then, and that was like Sunday at say 10 o'clock. We kind of moved like from here to there, but we're still not seeing much strength. We saw this blue candle and then come back down again. We really need to see from 2 o'clock to 6 o'clock some strength to push through to at least this one zone, which will be marked out already. So I'm not going to speculate with that. If it comes and touches this and pushes higher, then that's it. But really, the other side of it is that if it gets rejected from this zone or from this zone, we would expect to see lower prices, and I'm guessing maybe relatively fast. So we could see another red candle coming down here at 4-hour charts on a 4-hour time frame, and then pushing through once again to say, I don't know, 55,000, and then we could see, let's say, we could see then like a consolidation here, and if that is over, I mean that would kind of fill half of this candle, so we could then see the final little push down to here with another consolidation, here, and then we could see it just spike this final bit. So this could be the course of the next week like this, or it could be the complete opposite as well. Okay, so let's keep diving into the 1-hour market, 1-hour time frame, and we can see that the 200 is crossed the 300. The price is trying to stay above the 50. But like we just said, it needs some push to break through the 64,000. This is really a very psychological zone that it's got to break through. I would expect between 64 and say 66.5 probably be quite easy, but it's going to need some force, like I said, to break through these other areas. But it looks like it's more probable, and the easiest path looks like down. I mean, this is definitely a difficult path, and we're going to need some form of momentum. The sentiment's got to be that it wants to push it out of this, and maybe the ETFs in Hong Kong, they might be the catalyst for this, but we never know. The geopolitical situation right now could be the catalyst for lower prices. So moving into the 30-minute charts, we are seeing that the 5, the 8 and the 15 are kind of consolidating unless we see some more blue candles or red candles or sorry, green candles like this pushing out. So at 2:30, this candle, we've not seen any, we need to see some conviction like this green candle here. We need to see one of these, even just a small green candle here, and then followed by another one, followed by another one. We'd want like 3 of them to at least say, hey, I've got some conviction to push through. But right now, I see very much a red candle coming here afterwards. Now, if I am wrong, then I would expect to see some consolidation coming across here, and then if we do see consolidation, then that could be open for anything, a move up or a move down. So, but if the buying runs out here, then we should see prices drop to the bottom. Now, if the selling runs out here, then we should see a push to the top. But if everyone just seems to like consolidate on this and want to wait until the end of the week for the halving to come, then we should expect sideways prices. But I'm still very much open for prices to come back down here to pick up some more possible discounts on Solana and so on. So let's move into the 15-minute charts. So the 5, the 8 is below the 15. The 50 is below the 200. Once again, we need to see these blue candles here. We want to see green candles, like good green candles with high volume, come at 3:30. If anything is going to get if anything is going to move the market right now, I'd say it's the American market to move it, and then they might have a bit of power as the London market closes, and then Asia could be the catalyst to push it higher, as we already spoken about, or Asia could be the one that pushes it back down. Super speculating on this because I absolutely don't know, but if I had to put my money on something, then I would bet with the price coming down here to 57.3, basically just coming around this price, and so on. So let's look at the 5 minutes. 5 minutes, well, it's going sideways here. There's another consolidation down here. There was a consolidation here, another one here. So unless we see, like I said, I'm repeating myself now, some powerful candles pushing through, especially green, like this green one here. This is just normal pushing up. Yeah, we need to see some power behind this, but right now it's looking like we're getting sideward action at least until 3:30, which would be this here, and then let's say like 10 o'clock. Let's put this one here. Let's say that there, vertical there. So we could see some sideways movement through here. We could see it come back down again and up. Time will tell for this. I really don't know. I really don't know. It could go in every direction. The 1 minute time frame, I'm just going to continue with what I just said previously. The price is lower right now, so all the averages are lower unless we see, like I said, repeating myself again, some strong green candles pushing the price above the 200, the 300, bringing the 5, the 8 and 15 above the 50 above the 200, and then pushing it higher and breaking this one zone here of 62,700. Yeah, there's no chance. There's no chance if it can't do it. I mean, I guess we might see price come back up here and then back down again, but I think we have to wait another hour. You know, over the next half an hour, we'll see if this tends to go lower down. Maybe they're trying to scoop up some lower prices, ready to push it back up again. But right now, I really don't know. I really don't know. So let's just end the video on my philosophy rather than continue speculating. So if you are new to my channel and you haven't heard me talk about my philosophy before, then it's really quite simple. I'm very much a contrarian, right? And contrarians always tend to do, or contrarians always do what the opposite of what the most of the people say or the herd says. Now, you know, when there was blood on the streets, when people were selling like mad and they didn't want to buy anymore, a contrarian should have been me, should have been buying down here. Lesson learned. But the rest of the herd, when it came to here, was buying, right? And the herd here was selling. And this is the time where if you've got fear, you know, if you bought Bitcoin up here, you should have been having a hope that the price goes down even further, all right, to be able to buy back more Bitcoin at a cheaper price. And if you did buy here, you need fear to be fearful of losing even more money. So to take your losses and to think, wait a minute, the price is going to go lower, I can buy it lower, right? And all the time thinking, it's not finished yet. Let there be confirmation. And you can see this consolidation. And this is what the video was pretty much all about. And I'm trying to keep this in my videos all the time now, is the word consolidation. We are searching for these consolidation zones, right? We're searching for movements, and then we're searching for consolidation zones. And what a movement, I'm talking about the movement here. And then we saw sideways movement. We saw a downwards movement. We saw a very short movement. And then we saw some push back up again before it went back down and went back down again. So you need conviction. You know, it came down here and went back up, and we can see that it didn't have any power to push back up again. And this is the sign really here. This candle here was the sign that it's not got the power to push through, especially when it made enough movement to be able to jump above the 50 again and push the 5, the 8 and the 15 above the 50, but it didn't have the momentum to push to higher prices to break through. And these red candles, these green candles, are painting a picture that there was some nice consolidation here inside of this candle, this imbalance of prices. So we saw that all imbalances were balanced, and then it decided, I'm going to get out of this zone right now and come down to the next zone. And then we did some more buying here. Then it pushed through that zone, and they did some more buying here. And then finally, when they'd finished buying, they pushed the price up. And everywhere you go, you can just see push the price up, do some consolidation, push the price up. It came down a little bit, but it consolidated for just a very short amount of time, push back up again. So we're always looking for the sideways motion, right? The sideways motion is telling us something. Just like here, we saw a little bit of a dip, but we saw sideways motion, and that's kind of enough to tell us which way the market's going. Okay, but it came up here, but we see it didn't have any power. That we saw sideways motion once again. After the price went up, we saw sideways motion. We were waiting for the price to jump above, and it started here but didn't have the conviction to move above. So are we waiting for this one candle, or are we waiting for it to move above? We're waiting for it to move above to then show us the consolidation once again, right? And we want to see strong prices going up. So we want to see the tendency for more higher prices all the time rather than the tendency for lower prices. And it'll always touching the bottom rather than moving through the top all the time. So this is what I'm searching for. And don't get me wrong, I'm not a master at this. I'm still learning, but this is the pattern I'm always looking for. So let's come up here, and we can see right now that we've got at the moment a very volatile zone here going sideways, with the candles are like 1,000, 2,000 in each. So we can see that we've got that accumulation or distribution. We've got that consolidation zone here, just like we've got another kind of consolidation zone here. Well, we saw a quick dip or a quick spike going down, ready to push the price up, but we saw like a bit of a fake out here and coming back down again. So we really want to spot this momentum going up, and when we see the price has gone up, we saw consolidation to confirm that price that it didn't reject the previous support zones. It just continued on once again. Now, for me, I'm all about long term. So we're talking 10, 15, 20 years. I'm not about 15 minutes, half an hour. Now, if we do see the price of Bitcoin going sideways more and more right now, I have already sold up here. And if it does come and test this one zone again, I might just tinker with a tiny little bits of buying once again, a little bit, to see whether it comes up. And if we do get motion going back up again, I might tinker with a little bit more of buying, but only really if we see the same type of pattern going sideways. And then it won't hurt for me to just buy a little bit more in to then sell it up here once again. So I've already sold it here at a very, very good markup. And if it comes down here once again, and it can bounce off this one support zone, then I can't see why I can't just buy a little bit and see whether or not I can sell it once again. And so that's basically it. With that said, we're now on 14:38. I hope you've got something out of this video. If you have, it would make me so happy for you to let me know what exactly you got out of this one video, and when did you get into Bitcoin? Are you going to get into Bitcoin? What other coins, what other stuff are you in right now? And have you been successful over the past weekend buying in at lower prices? Yeah, just let me know. I'm really interested to find out. Thanks very much for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, share, etc., etc., etc. And see you in tomorrow's video. Ciao, ciao, bye-bye.